I think one thing that some people can forget relatively easily is that you're never guaranteed a compliment. You may watch a video or consume content surrounding most complimented fragrances, and you may think that you're almost going to be guaranteed to get one when you wear that fragrance. And it can be easy to kind of get wrapped up into that whole deal of chasing positive feedback and using fragrances to help facilitate that. But again, you got to remember at the end of the day, you're never guaranteed a compliment, even if you choose a fragrance that is very highly complimented in general across a lot of people. And there are tons of fragrances out there that are highly complimented, okay? But you got to take into account there's a lot of other factors that go into it. But what I do want to cover today is fragrances that do have a high success rate. So again, just front and center, getting this out of the way, no one is ever guaranteed compliments from fragrances, right? None of us are. No one is entitled to owe you compliments when you wear something that smells good. But these have a really, really good chance of getting you positive feedback if you're in the right place at the right time and you have the right attitude. And the reason why this isn't just your regular most complimented video is you could choose fragrances that are some of your most complimented ones. And the thing is though, success rate is what it boils down to. And these 10 have something about them that make people feel almost just the urge to say something, because each one of these has something a little bit different about them. We're not taking a look at Azarochrome or the original Acqua di Gio or anything like that. That's just very clean and very fresh, right? People aren't really going to feel as motivated to compliment you on something like that because that's just it. It smells clean and fresh. These have something just a step beyond that really makes people feel compelled sometimes. Again, not guaranteed, not promising anything, but the success rate with these is pretty high. So I will link them down below. I will also see you over on my community tab where I'm posting deals every day, multiple times a day. New stuff, old stuff, rare stuff, just some of the best deals you can find, discontinued fragrances, all over there. Get subscribed so those deals show up in your feed. And I want to start this one off with SPICEBOMB Night Vision. This is going to be the Eau de Parfum. This has a kind of a wonky note breakdown. You've got notes of apple and pistachio and cardamom and black pepper and quote unquote nutty notes in here. So the Night Visions, there's the EDT and this one, the EDP, stray away from your typical SPICEBOMB DNA quite a bit. It can be a little bit confusing for some. Just know you're not getting something that smells like the EDT or the Extreme when you get this. It's completely different. But one thing that this does have is some of that modern kind of sweetness that you would expect from newer men's fragrances. It's something that is just all around very mass pleasing, just very likable across the board for people out there in the real world, not necessarily fragrance snobs. Because I'll be the first to admit I don't love this fragrance, but what I can tell you is that for whatever reason, something about it, the success rate, the turnover rate on this one is surprisingly high. And it does just really seem to captivate people from time to time. You know, there is something a little bit different about it, the way the pistachio is in here and just this different blend of notes coming together to form something just a little bit out of the norm. It really works well. Next up, we have 212 Sexy for Men by Carolina Herrera. Now, this has vanilla, it's got Gaiac wood, there's orange in here, also some black pepper, kind of spicy accords, and it's your nice, sweet, silky smooth men's vanilla scent, almost with this tonka bean and benzoin dustiness about it as well. Very, very sexy stuff. I have to admit, they named this one appropriately. And another situation where on the fragrance collector, enthusiast, snob side of things, it's not going to get you too excited. But one thing that I can appreciate is just that it works in so many situations and it does its job very well. It's from Carolina Herrera. They're a relatively big designer brand, as you know, and their main goal with a lot of their stuff, if you look across what they're putting out, is going to be to please the masses. Take a look at the Bad Boys. Bad Boy, the original, Le Parfum, the new Cobalt, right? They're going in that direction to just smell good. And there's something about this one in particular that really seems to turn heads more than some of the others. Now, I know this is not a familiar face that you're excited about seeing, but it's another one of those situations where it works well. It works almost too good. So much so that it kind of by default had to be in here. And really, you can pick your favorite flanker, okay? I'm just going for the Eau de Parfum of SAUVAGE here, meeting in the middle, okay? Elixir, I would say, is the only one that you might want to be careful with and really wouldn't quite have the same placement in this video. But the EDT, the EDP, and the Parfum really can all be lumped up. And again, it's just kind of a pick your favorite one type of thing for this particular video, being that they all work very well. Now, you can go preferably more so with the EDP or the Parfum just to stray away from the original a little bit, but I can tell you, even the EDT, after it has been so heavily saturated, it still has that compelling thing about it to where people are still going to comment on it. I mean, it still just works. And really, when you think about it, that's kind of crazy. I don't know what it is about it. I like to go to the EDP or the Parfum in situations where I'm going to be, going out, leaving the house, just because I feel like, again, they're going to be a little bit more suitable, and I just feel like they're just more refined and improved upon over the original DNA. But one thing's for sure, this stuff works very well. Now, I know I talk about Stronger with You absolutely all the time. It's their Parfum concentration. So I'm going to shed some love on Intensely, which is their Eau de Parfum concentration. Now, this has vanilla. It's got toffee. It's got a little bit of cardamom in here, tonka bean, and smells fantastic. I really like this. Now, what I like about this one over Absolutely is it has a little bit more of that gourmand, edible kind of sweetness to it, which significantly helps this one in the mass-pleasing department. Don't get me wrong, Absolutely still a beast, and it will reel in some compliments, but this one also does an exceptional job. And the way that it has that kind of dessert toffee smell in here, it just really does a great job. And I prefer this over the original, the EDT, because it performs better on me. And again, I just kind of like this DNA a little bit better. It's actually a little bit more improved to me compared to the original. Next up, we have one that's been hard to find lately for some reason. Not really sure why. I hope it's not discontinued, but you really never know. It is in stock, though, if you hit the link down below, for the time being anyway. Man in Black by BVLGARI. Now, this one here has got some rum, some spices, cinnamon. I believe they put a blanket statement, spicy notes in this one in particular, tobacco. So what this is, in a nutshell, very, very basically explained here, is SPICEBOMB, but less brash, less in your face, and more refined. And I'm talking about the Eau de Toilette of SPICEBOMB. If you want to be more mature, and you want to be taken a little bit more seriously, you want a little bit more of a grown-up smell with a boozy touch, Man in Black is the way to go. And because of how I just described this one, it tends to have a better success rate nowadays than SPICEBOMB EDT, at least from my viewing and observation and experience, just because the EDT did have its run a while back. And this one really is just kind of a more refined, improved version of that DNA. Great DNA, but this one does it just a little bit better all around. So I really had to do this. I didn't want to feature the real thing of this next particular DNA, so I'm going with the clone AFNAN Supremacy, Not Only Intense. Aventus clone. I could have put in Aventus, but the prices are still going up. I just did a video on this. And actually in that video, I recorded it a little bit back. I think I said retail for Aventus was 100 mil for $470. It's $495 now. So either I messed up or they raised their prices again. I don't know which one, but $495, $500 now retail for Aventus. I'm not about that life. Yeah, you can get it discounted. Really, though, I think you're best off putting some money into some of the clones. There's so many of them. A lot of them are really good. I happen to really like this one, along with Club de Nuit Intense Limited Edition Parfum. But what I like about this one is it's also Hassavat inspired. So it's Aventus mixed with Hassavat by Nishane. It's got that rich oak moss and pineapple to the extreme here. And this is a head-turning DNA like you would not believe. Great, great stuff for about $50 online, and it gets the job done. Next up, one of my favorite fragrances, one of my favorite fragrance lines. For that matter, one of my favorite fragrance houses, designer brand-wise. I love the brand. And from Armani, you guys know it. I don't even know why I'm saying. Of course you know it's Armani. It's Acqua di Gio Profondo, okay? I love it. I love Profumo, although that one's been a little bit tough to get lately as well. So ultimately, another situation where it's pick your favorite. You could even go with the new Eau de Parfum. The only one I would avoid when you're wanting to get the best success rate and turnover rate of turning heads is avoid the EDT, the original. Still a great fragrance. I'm not discrediting it, but go with one of the flankers instead if you want to turn the most amount of heads, because this is going to be way less familiar. And in the situation of Profondo, the mineral notes mixed with the aquatic notes and the orange give it this very uplifting, oceanic, vacation smelling, uplifting, happy smell to it that I really enjoy. And I think this DNA has the potential to continue to do very well and go a long way. Talk about turning heads, talk about a big compliment getter here. Running down to the end, we have Dolce & Gabbana The One, Eau de Parfum Intense, Cardamom, Cashmerean, Amber. This reminds me a little bit of Dior Homme 2020 because of the heavy cashmerean in here, but the main differences are going to be, and again, there's quite a few of them, is this one has the cardamom sweetness, the amber. It's sweeter overall. There's nothing really sweet about the Dior. It's woody and musky and dry, okay, with a little bit of citrus up top. That's about it. Much sweeter here. But you'll notice when you smell them side by side, the cashmerean accord that they're using is similar between the both of them, and just their, I don't know, the aromatic kind of, woody base that this one has is similar to that of the Dior. So you can draw some similarities there between the two, but this one still is different. One other thing about this one is that it doesn't really smell like Dolce & Gabbana The One EDT or EDP, you know, the originators of the line. It goes in a different direction here. Just wanted to point that out. You may look at this, at least the name, and think that it's Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP, but intense. So it's that DNA, but stronger, which was what we were all hoping for. Hate to break it to you, it's not. But this is stronger than that, just smells different. It's kind of confusing, but you'll understand what I'm saying. The point is, there's something about this one that just turns the heads and does a really good job. Same thing with this one, Why Eau de Parfum. Feel like a broken record, but this one feels like it always just shows up in videos, and I feel like, again, I'm doing a disservice if I don't mention it in the videos where it's appropriate to be in, but the success rate that you'll have with Why Eau de Parfum is just absolutely insane. An investment that should be made by just about every fragrance collector out there. It's about $100, $110, $115-ish, somewhere around in there for 100 mil. We're talking Eau de Parfum concentration. We're talking 10 plus hours of longevity, strong projection, especially in the heat. This is a no joke fragrance. It's got great quality, great performance, like I just said, and it's blue fragrance inspired, but doesn't smell like any of the other blues. This is YSL's independent take on that genre of scent, and it just works so well. It separates itself from Sauvage and Dylan Blue and Atlantique and all these other Bleu de Chanel, and it just does a really good job of getting people's attention, and a lot of times people will feel prompted to say something about it. We'll end this one with a sweet one that you can get for about $40 on discounters. Halloween Man X. Now this one has whiskey, tonka bean, and a little bit of coffee. Tester does come with a cap. There's a sticker if you don't believe me. Tester comes with cap. At least mine did. I don't know if they changed something or someone in the warehouse of a discounter starts nabbing all the caps off of these or something. But you know, as far as I'm aware, testers do seem to come with a cap. Much more focus on the tonka bean and whiskey, not so much on the coffee for me. If you want a coffee fragrance by itself, look elsewhere. But if you want a nice, sweet, wearable, fall and winter time scent on a budget that turns heads and gets a lot of compliments and just all around has a very high success rate, I would check this one out. That's going to do it for me, guys. 10 fragrances that just do really well in general when it comes to getting you positive feedback. If this is the type of video you're looking for and you're just wanting to smell good, check any of these 10 out. Links will be down below. Deals over on the community tab. Hop over there when you're done watching this video. Just take a look. You might find something that you like. You might find something that you've been looking for months or years for a good price. That's kind of my whole goal with that. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.